Okay, I have some updates on the Atlavox and also the Heltec V4, the glass version, which is on the left side. And there is the touchscreen one, which I'm waiting for it to arrive. So I just want to give you a little bit more information on it. Okay, I am very happy and impressed with these devices. However, the Heltec V4 version, both the touchscreen and the glass one, definitely the price is cheaper, and it seems to be, it's a little bit too early to say for certainty, but it seems like it's a little bit more responsive or more quicker. And okay, I got some construction going on in the background. Hopefully, it's not covering this up. What makes these devices interesting is that no license is required, even though as a ham, I can use that same band, but others can use it freely if they don't have license for it, because no license is required to use it. And it's designed to be free from cellular, free from Wi-Fi, free from internet use. It's a mesh type system. Basically, you send a text. You can either send it private encrypted or send public. And the nearest mesh that hears that text, it will take it and retransmit it. Eventually, it reaches its destination. And have to have 2 or 3 to test it properly, so that when the other one comes in, we'll do a lot of range testing later on, and how far we can work when in a remote where there's no cell service. Okay, and when you're talking or want to talk to people who are not licensed to use the ham radios, you'll be able to still at least text them. So it's going to be interesting summer for when we go camping, RVing, stuff like that, hiking, just to see how practical it is. But it's definitely very useful in a scenario where there is an emergency, there's power failure, there's no cell service, even in town. Because judging by the amount of nodes that I can directly contact, the odds are very high that I'll be able to contact my family anywhere in the Calgary area using these devices, despite the failure of cell service. However, pricing becomes important because you need a bunch of these, one for each family at least, or one for each individual. All depends if they live together or they live in different locations of the city. Okay, I'm going to talk about and show you some settings there and some of the issues that I came across. Some of it was my making and how to fix it there and what to watch out for. So additional information, and it would be appreciated to if you're especially if you're looking at getting one of these units, uh, to research, read about it, get to know it, and you'll be able to determine if this is something that'll be for you. Okay, this is the Atlavox, and I'm using my call sign for this one. And I have, like I say, 2 units already, the Heltec V4 and this one. It's working great. I've got to know it a little bit. There was a couple of things that I was experiencing initially. I had trouble saving settings when I made changes. I kind of identified it, what the issues were. I was plugged in, charging the unit, and it seems like it would stop the rebooting. So the next day, I was planning to do some troubleshooting to find out what's going on, and I noticed it was working the way it should. There are some settings where you don't have to do a reboot. It will just basically take you out of that window almost immediately, and that's it. You know, it's done. Other times it will do a reboot, and then you have to wait. I've also made some basic changes, to some of the settings, mostly how often certain things would do. Okay, this is the node. This is the one I'm using right now, the rack with block. And there was one little problem I came up with, which was because of me. When I went to settings and I was playing around, I think I went to ranging tests. The purpose of this is to send out text so you can kind of find out how far you're able to get out. It's not something you should do on a public channel. There is a bug in the Meshtastic program a little bit. Basically, it was possible to enable this on the public channel, and then it was basically just throwing out a lot of unnecessary packets out there. So it was on, and I could not turn it off, no matter what I did. It was both of them were turned on, but they were dimmed, and I'll explain there and give you the steps in case you run into that, how to correct that, and also how to set up your Mac terminal so that you're able to control your unit even through the terminal control. That'll be included in that bug fix. Okay. And been testing the messages, you know, just see how it works, and sure enough, even the direct message. And basically, you turn on notification on all your devices if you want to receive it. And pick which device you want it to have running in the background, or at least enabled, and you'll get the text. Okay, and another thing I should mention on the nodes, every node that has a strong signal directly to me, I've added to my favorite list. Okay. Remove from favorite or add. So I got what? This one's 73. I moved it around. It was over 200. And I also cleared some stale ones. So I've gone through, I go through the list, and if I see one that is local, direct, I'm able to directly locate them. I would then select it and then add to favorite. Okay, so that's handy. You could do a search when you have a lot of them right here. And you can also set up filters, node filters. So if you want just the the online ones also included, encrypted. Notice how it drops down 73 to 69. Distance, hops away, and roles that it plays. In other words, is it going to be a client mute, client hidden, tracker, lost and found? Lost and found is great when you're tracking something, and client base. It's basically the same as client, but I think client base more dedicated to messaging and forwarding, I believe. So by default, client is all you need. Okay, so there you go. Just in case you're not aware that filter is there, I have it turned off for now because I want to locate all the ones that are within direct communication. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 in there right now on this node. So that's that bit of information I wanted to share. And mesh map is interesting. There is a RYC. It's a repeater, ham radio repeater, which is right there, RYC. And that's one of my devices. There's my other device. It will give me the information. And someone else over here that has a device here. Oh, it's kind of interesting. A little triangle. We're talking about 2 or 3 kilometers at least. RYC is great. Being a repeater on top of the hill, it has fantastic coverage. That would be ideal for long distance texting. So I have a 3rd unit coming in. It's the same as this one, but the only difference is it has the touch screen, and it's cheaper. It's exactly the same thing, but cheaper. I guess it's a promo or something going on, so just to let you know. It'll probably be a month or 2 before that comes in. I'm not sure how quickly this time of year it will arrive. So there you go. That's the thing. Now I should go to settings. So first thing I should remind you, don't turn on range test config when you do get your device. Leave it off for now. And first thing I would recommend, turn on administration. I like to look for any problems at first. I have weather conditions, so I want to hear that. And clear stale nodes. Before I had it kind of off, but I turned it on, and basically any node that's over 180 days, it will just clear it. Okay, in the LoRa config, if you're going to be using MQTT, and when you go to your channels, which is right here, you need to have the uplink enabled and downlink enabled. If it's just for the primary, you can do that. If you want any of your encrypted ones to use MQTT, then you want to enable that. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, you will not benefit any cellular connections. So that takes care of the LoRa config, the channel security. You can skip that. Share QR code. I talked about how you can, when you have more than one device, you can create a QR code and it will transfer over all your current channels. Users, if you have unmessageable turned on, your node will say unmonitored. You're not monitoring any of the messages. I do want to monitor it, so I have it turned off. This is where you can change the long name of your device. For the Atlavox unit that I'm using here, M1A1, I'm using my call sign. Okay. Bluetooth, I have it enabled. As I mentioned before, it's a fixed pin, and you want to change that, not use the default. Okay. And for device, select client. For rebroadcast mode, I just select local. You have several options like all. For now, when you're first testing, you don't want to create a lot of traffic unnecessary. Okay. And node info broadcast intervals, 3 hours is the minimum. The LED heartbeat, yep, definitely use that one. And of course, with the GPS, it knows where you are and will set the time correctly. So that's your device config. Display, basically, you can select your compass to be pointing north, 12-hour clock, bold heading, which I turn on. My display is metric. And stream will shut off after 10 minutes. You have longer options if you want. And the rest I have not touched. And network enabled. Enable broadcasting packets via UDP over the local network. I have that turned on. And positions. Broadcast interval. The maximum interval that can elapse without a node broadcasting a position. 1 hour. That's the minimum. Smart position, minimum interval. The fastest that position updates will be sent if the minimum distance has been satisfied. So I think this is set for what, 100 meters? And the minimum distance change in meters to be considered for a smart position broadcast. So I guess if I'm walking around and I manage to move 100 meters, it will broadcast my location. Otherwise, I'm not moving too much. It'll be 1 hour. And enable device GPS update interval. How often should we try to get a GPS position? I got it set for now 15 minutes. You can go 30 seconds, but that's too often, unless you're in some sort of event that requires it. And this is the information where you would enable what type of information you want to send. Basically the default. Okay. That was position, right? Okay, let's go back to power. I set it up in case my unit locks up. And hopefully after 6 hours it will restart. I am kind of in the middle of testing that, so we'll see how that works. CAN messages, they're just some default ones. Detection sensor, I've enabled that. Gave it a name, environment. And minimum time between detection broadcasts. Okay. 15 minutes. For some reason now it's turned off. Let's see if the save works. Yeah, there you go. It's doing a reboot. Let's wait and see. Batteries are charged, so I guess it's not interfering with the reboot. Okay. That's basically how long it takes, and retrieving the nodes, of course, the more you have, a little bit more time is required. So 73 nodes right now on this one. Okay, let's go back to settings, and that was detection sensor, right? Yeah, 15 minutes. Okay. Range test. Well, this is the cellular where you turn it on. Okay. And then the range test you want off. Otherwise, it will be broadcasting, causing interference perhaps. Ringtone, I just leave it.
No, you can't. No.
Oh, it looks like my cat is being bad. And store forward, I got that enabled, so this way anyone sending text messages, I will be able to store and forward. Should for some reason there's no link to pass it on, I guess. And telemetry. Broadcast device metrics, 1 hour. Environmental metrics enabled, 30 minutes. and to show on my device screen. Should it come in, and power metrics is enabled, so more or less I can check what the battery and stuff like that is. Okay, so that's the basic settings. Now, I mentioned to you when in the range thing, if you happen to turn off the range test and then it gets dimmed, you can't change it. So it requires a terminal commands to take care of that, and which I'll show you next. Okay, let's go back. Oh, when I said same device, actually it's a Heltec V4, but with a touch screen, not the Atlavox, which I'm showing right now. Okay, before I go into the terminal mode explanation, I'm going to switch units. This is the Atlavox. I'm going to disconnect, and this is okay. The reason why you don't see it is because it is connected to my phone. So let me go in there and disconnect. Okay, I gotta go to connect, and then I'm going to take disconnect, and now it shows up. While this is loading, I should make it very clear. I have no issues using my MacBook Pro 2024 with the latest Mac OS, or my iOS 17 on my iPad, or my iPhone 17 Pro Max, or the 12 Pro Max, and I believe my 2014 MacBook. So when it comes to the back side, you pretty well can use it. And I basically set up all my devices to accept notification from Meshtastic. Okay, this is the Heltec V4. And let's go to nodes, and I have named this one as SimplyOffGridLife. Again, I have 194 nodes on this so far. I've been playing around with the other one, so it will take a little while before all the nodes match up, I guess. But anyways, again, anything that gives me a signal that's good, I'm currently saving it as a favorite. And of course, any ham radio stations, RYC and PTP and so forth. Okay, and I'm just scrolling through just to see if there's any new ones showed up. So some of these devices, they come and go, right? But that's to be expected. I'm very pleased that V6RYC has a Meshtastic device, because it has like probably a 60 to 100 kilometer range, I think. But we'll see. I have to do some testing. So this is, I just thought I would show you. I guess one thing a lot of people are going to ask, well, which one do you like better? I am inclined to like this one better, I have to admit. The Atlavox works no problem. The very fact that it has Wi-Fi capabilities is nice. There are some settings it has. I'm just trying to remember. Now what a range test is turned off. Good. I had to do the same thing for this one. Obviously. I'm just trying to remember now what some of the features it has. Network, of course, this is the Wi-Fi, right? Okay. Offhand, I sense that it operates a little bit quicker. I think it's a little bit faster processor. I could be wrong. But I have the way it stands right now, it's definitely one of my favorites. Now, the other unit is going to be identical. The only difference is going to have a touch screen instead of a glass. And I'll show a picture of what I'm talking about. What's the advantage, I guess, of a touch screen is that you may not need to have your phone to reply to a text or send something. At least that's what I'm thinking. Okay, now I need to show you about terminal mode, so let's pause. If you plan to use this device and becomes part of your home network, definitely recommend to install Meshtastic terminal mode. It gives you a lot of capabilities and it comes very configuration and also correcting things that you can't seem to correct should you have a setting turned on and it's dimmed. Hopefully I didn't miss anything here. I got all the correct information, but there's a few other steps yet, but I thought this should work for most people. And take a screenshot if you're using it on a computer or your phone or whatever your camera, and go through steps. Or you can do a search online. I'm sure the same information you'll be able to find. In the meantime, if it's helpful, it will be appreciated. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. Have a nice day. If you haven't done so, it would be appreciated. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.